staff of the University of Guyana, family, friends, well-wishers, and graduating class of 2014. Good evening to you all. Firstly, I wish to extend profound congratulations to the 2014 batch of graduates. You've demonstrated commitment, resilience, and game awareness superior to your current professional representatives on the West Indies cricket team and have completed the series in spite of continued adversity. Hence, this victory lap is now all of ours to savor. It is on occasions like these that feelings of nostalgia and ambivalence creep in. On one hand, being infinitely happy to have finally completed the journey, but on the other hand, enduring feelings of sadness about having to part ways with friends and other contacts with whom you forged strong ties. I too am enduring such feelings. In fact, it feels like only yesterday that I ventured onto campus for my first day of university, thoroughly excited about the journey which lay ahead and eager to grasp the opportunity. It was all going according to plan until one day in class, about 3 weeks into the degree program, I misplaced my calculator. After meekly asking Mr. Rogers to make an announcement about this unfortunate development, the subsequent outpouring of pity and attention forthcoming from my colleagues, whilst novel, was somewhat embarrassing and arduous to endure. I'd say, in fact, one of my primary motivators to do well over these 4 years was the eventual incentive of not being remembered only as that guy who lost his calculator in ECN 110 class. Now that we, the graduates, have completed our degrees, diplomas, and certificates, I urge us all to pursue continuous professional development, as the world we live in is anything but static, and to remain truly competitive demands of us to keep up with, or indeed be ahead of the 8th ball. Remember the profound words of the legendary Italian painter and poet Michelangelo. The greater danger for the greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark. Thanks to the vision map and invention of my former lecturer, Mr. Phillips, I'm adamant that most of my colleagues, even if they were each gagged with an entire ream of duct tape, would still be able to decree loudly the fact that Guyana possesses in excess of 200 fruits and vegetables, vast deposits of high-grade gold, that is, unique ecotourism products, acreages of arable land, and many other endowments. However, none of these are quite as important as our human resources. These are the resources which actually possess the initiative, innovative capacity, and wits to harness Guyana's natural endowments in a manner which accrues great social, economic, and technological benefits to her. The graduates present today comprise a critically important block of these human resources. Unfortunately, we also migrate en bloc in pursuit of greener pastures. According to a study conducted this year by Simona Vizzoli, a researcher from the International Migration Institute at the University of Oxford, Guyana loses in excess of 80% of its tertiary graduates and skilled personnel to the scourge of migratory brain drain. This phenomenon significantly inhibits Guyana's ability to leverage the skills of our most talented citizens, and is a state of affairs that simply cannot persist. However, stark change in this reality will require a monumental effort by multiple stakeholders, including the tertiary graduates themselves, policymakers, and corporate Guyana. Initiatives such as easy and concessionary access to house lots for tertiary graduates, wage floors for persons who have attained a certain level of tertiary education, additional internship opportunities and other sweeteners should be pursued. These should prove useful incentives for graduates to stay and serve. It is indeed quite commendable that corporate giants such as Massey Limited and DDL already have annual graduate trainee programs. It is strongly advisable for more to follow suit, as doing so provides an avenue for the attraction of individuals well suited for the future leadership of the recruiting entities. Call it smart succession planning. Also, the realization of an appreciable decrease in graduate migration would require the adopting of a more patriotic and nationalistic approach by our graduates. If we all desert our homeland in pursuit of personal advancement, then where does that leave Guyana as a nation? Who will be here to motivate and inspire the youth to work hard and equal or even surpass our exploits? Who will be here to intelligently, assertively, and articulately agitate and advocate for the positive societal changes we desire? Who will conceptualize and enforce better, more efficient means of functioning within our manufacturing and service industries, our academic arena, our political landscape? It is akin to dereliction of national duty for us not to accept collective responsibility for Guyana's future developmental trajectory. However, we the graduates cannot do it alone. We will require the fullest support and cooperation of those who hold influence over the extent and relative haste of improvement in the often dire situation we so frequently and readily flee from. As they say in Guyanese parlance, hand wash hand, make hand come clean. At last year's convocation, the erudite alumnus, Dr. Ivelaw Griffith, during his delivery of the keynote address, implored graduates to remember their giants, those persons who contributed to their being able to graduate with degrees, diplomas, and certificates. We too, batch of 2014, amongst our giants. At this juncture, do allow me to express profuse gratitude to those who have been of assistance to me throughout this journey. To my mother, you have always been the embodiment of what a giant is. And during my tenure at the university, you stayed true to form. Your constant motivation and expression of genuine concern and advice were invaluable. Just so you know, I harbored zero desire to now compensate for the many chores exemptions you granted and focus and study. Special thanks are also expressed to my father for your prayers and support, and for occasionally doubling as my personal contingencies fund whenever there was an unforeseen budget deficit. Special thanks are also expressed to my siblings. Thank you all for the assistance you provided and for believing in me even more than I believed in myself. I trust that your little brother has made you proud. Heartfelt gratitude is also extended to that special lady in my life who has been very understanding throughout the demanding period of tertiary studies. Never before have I seen a woman be okay with her time being halved in the interest of other pursuits, regardless of what they may be. By no means am I suggesting that you were the first to accomplish this feat, but hey, I suppose you did really well. Homage must also be paid to my alma mater, President's College, where I was fortunate enough to receive a high-quality secondary education that served me well in my tertiary studies. This community was also largely responsible for molding me into becoming an all-round individual, not limited to the pursuit of academics. Thanks to all my relatives, friends, and others hailing from the beautiful mining town of Linden, where I was born and spent my formative years. You've continually shown faith and confidence in my abilities. To my colleagues who also read for the degree in management, thanks to the myriad of you who are oftentimes helpful to and facilitating of me. I recall about 1 year ago, in Mrs. Sesner and Cole-Sarah's class, you all proclaimed to the man that the next valedictorian was seated right there in our midst. I'll make it a point to arrange a reunion and have all of you decree such prophecies again, only this time about my bank account. A special mention are two of my closer friends, Cameroon and Lal, with whom I spent many hours studying, discussing current affairs, or even marveling about Glenn Maxwell's reverse sweeps in the IPL. Thanks to the many lecturers I've had the privilege of learning from over these 4 years, especially the legendary Mr. Pasha, whom I've witnessed bring many of my colleagues to their knees, whether in prayer or anguish or both. If indeed my impending receipt of this award wasn't your primary motivation to attend this year's convocation, then the reggae artist Denique would be very proud, as you really did make me believe you. My dear lecturers, I know just how you feel. For if I were you, I'd have been happy to finally get rid of me too. Do know that I never meant to saturate you with my presence, and it was all in the interest of attaining a decent education here at the university. Many of you have inspired me, and I'm sure you also inspired many of the other graduates to always strive for excellence, never to cease in the pursuit of knowledge. Lastly, I'd like to express many thanks to the Department of Business and Management Studies and all the heads of department, whom throughout these 4 years have also served as strong sources of motivation and support, most notable being Miss Evelina Singh. So, fellow graduates, we are a group made diverse by the academic disciplines undertaken, yet are unified by the common experiences and challenges we all shared in throughout the duration of our studies here. For instance, many of us across every academic field, myself no exception, were often present on campus at ungodly hours so as to meet demanding assignment deadlines or to study for exams. None quite to the extent of the technology students though. You guys practically lived up here. I too have suffered bouts of cold sweat and fatigue over whether or not my registration would be completed on time, thereby allowing me to sit final exams. And I too have had altercations with a certain diligent and stern invigilator of Amerindian descent.
That's fine.
In conclusion, I urge you all, despite differences in our chosen fields of study, to be unified in one key pursuit, that of lending our best efforts to the advancement of these beloved 83,000 square miles we call Guyana. With that, I reiterate sincerest congratulations to the batch of 2014 graduates of Turkine. Best wishes in all your future endeavors. Thank you.
Yeah.